Yo. I said 11:40. I don't know why. It's just a random time. Still on the walk back. I'm almost there. What's up, Mikey Sue's 4? Snake was right. Good to see you. Had a few points I need to discuss and walk back. I'm gonna wait till I get inside here. If there's really anybody out here, but I don't need everybody here in the neighborhood hearing my business. There's some dudes partying in that car back there. It is Tuesday. There's a lot of shit this weekend. There's some shit I didn't really remember. A bit embarrassing. Lost the key fob for my fucking car again. Hopefully it's in here. I didn't really get a chance to look earlier. To go in tomorrow, return the hotspot and try to get the other one back. Yeah, this Wi-Fi hotspot is not where it's at. Push in the face. Just another moment now. What's that? Every time I play. What is that? Oh my goodness. Sterling, hello. I've just been bombarded by smells in here. Yeah, I get it. Okay, probably smelled like shit, but I don't know if this is better. Let me get this off before I switch my camera. I'm just fucking everything up. Yeah, just go off cam. It's not really necessary tonight. Just got to see the trot over. The other thing. Oh, yeah, this one. I always forget how to do this on Marble. Go original avatar. Did it work? Did not work. It's like just try it again. Okay. Oh, it worked. Yes. Okay. Have some notes about what I've done. not to, I don't have to dwell on it too much, but I've had some time to think and about that whole thing. Wait, so let me go back. I have to. So I had to change this. Turn on the flashlight. Okay. If I can make heads or tails of this thing. Certain pattern of thought on. All right. Yeah. Okay. Walking it back. Yeah. What I'm not gonna do is react to this guy, right? This fucking guy. This guy I was talking about, this ZZ Top looking motherfucker. What's up, Cat? Good to see you, Cat. Right. I've probably already reacted more strongly than I should have, and just emoting and venting here, but I'm not going to be very clear, I'm not actually going to hold up the transit system in any way or air out my personal vendetta with this guy at work, because that's not a logical thing to do. I know I kind of made it sound like I might. I did not see him today, but I'm also like, yeah, after I talked about it with a couple people and I thought about it, I was like, no, because the better way to handle this situation is to, like, just not let this guy's shitty attitude affect me in any way and just be like as pleasant as fucking possible and, kind of handle it like I did with this other guy, right? But it was like non-work related. So, like, keep it non-work related and just, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna take up the fucking complaint. I don't think I'm gonna say anything to him. I might fucking comment on his beard though. That could be fun. See if that gets his goat. It's not a bad beard. I can't give shit to the bearded people. I like Richard Madsen. You why I have this problem. Like dudes like this. This guy fucking definitely like rented some space in my head for a couple of days. I know he wasn't fucking dwelling on it. I definitely was. Right. When I got out of there, I was like, I was so mad. I was mad. And I stayed like pretty mad. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how they get the better of you. So don't do it. Don't let them do it. And then yeah, so as far as all that shit goes, I just wasn't really all that present like over the weekend because I was hung up on that. And, I wasn't really present at therapy. And so that kind of like I had to go back and realize that too. Like just kind of fucking like today, like I'm fucking just still like barely latched on to reality. And like one of my friends, he was a little faded. He was trying to fucking, have a serious conversation with me, but I was just like, man, I hear what you're saying, but it's just not like right now, it's just not sinking in. So there's like a fucking link. But yeah, no, I'm not going to go abusing my position at work to try and fuck with anybody. I'm all, oh, I really said I was going to do that, didn't I? I was pretty mad. I was upset. But, I think it might fuck with him more if I don't do anything, though. 3 away from 160 subs? Who, me? No way. No way. Not me. Trusty ape. It fluxes a bit, but we've been pretty steady at this. Like, what was it, 156, 157 now? I had the 155 and then it dropped, and now it's back up again. So feeling strong. And I pretty much, for a lot of these YouTube videos, I rely on y'all. I hardly ever show on Facebook anymore and stuff, but I do the live broadcast on Facebook as well. I'll simulcast here at Facebook and here on Twitch on Mondays. Mikey, what's up? Welcome in. Can I add you to the stream? See, I got you on here. Okay, there's the button.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
Welcome. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you all right. I might have to adjust my settings a little bit because I don't have my headphones here, so people usually...
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
No, I just said I have miniature headphones inside myself right now.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Usually use the just the regular earpiece, and it doesn't echo on us too bad or anything. But side chat can let me know if it is. I can adjust things.
I will. I will.
Well,
I
well,
Go ahead.
it's nice to meet you, man. I think it's the first time I've seen you over here, so it's good.
Oh well, thank you. I was worried about you there for a minute. I thought you might trip or hurt yourself. Hope not. Oh boy.
Yeah, a lot of people were. That's like I guess I was out here kind of just flailing around the universe a little bit for a minute.
We're all doing that. We're just here.
Right.
I told my wife the other day. I said, honey, I said, there's all sorts of crap and stuff going on everywhere, and we're just here. We're just trying to live in it. In the moment. That's what we're trying to do right now.
I always think so much of like, I want to be a problem solver, but then it's like, it's one of those things where like the harder you try to solve a problem, the less actually gets done. It's like usually the simpler solution's the better one, and just overthinking.
Well, what's that saying? It's like you got to go with your first instinct. Go with what you feel. Like the first time you feel something, it's like go with it because it's usually the right one. It's the right answer. Your first instinct.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like second guessing yourself it causes more difficulty. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. By the way, this is the first real nighttime that I've actually been able to show myself because my wife, she's a little camera shy, but she's sleeping right now. So I'm just trying to keep to myself a little bit. But this is really the first night I've actually put myself out here, and it's not bad. It's actually cool because if you can hear me clear enough, then I'm doing something right. So
Yeah, actually, I've been having a pretty good luck with these mobile streams since I got the upgraded version of StreamYard. It's coming through a bit better and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And so do you usually do a podcast like this or?
not usually. I like to plan my streams ahead of time. Right now, I don't know if you've been to my current my Mikey Sue's 4 channel, but I've got 12 different webcam slash live stream things pretty much already done. Recently, I did something on Indiana Jones franchise. Where we had a bunch of people talking in the chat about it, but I didn't get anything set up yet as far as the StreamYard account until 5 days ago. I heard from Professor Brady Specs, and he was able to let me know, hey, dude, if you're going to do another future stream like this, you may want to go ahead and get a StreamYard account. It's free, you don't have to worry about it. And when you're ready to set it up, then you bring people in for a panel discussion, you know, and it works out better. And then you get more people that show up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really into, how many subs I get. I think I'm like 3 away or something like that to 80. It's not a big deal with me. But that's why I said to you, like you were like 3 away from 160, and I said, well, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taken a while, but as the same thing, I just kind of like I didn't do like a whole lot of promotion. I just kind of like try to just go around and meet people, other people who were doing open rooms, and then just invite people over and kind of just grow our own little community over here on the side.
To
And it's
chill
like half
out.
the time I don't even have a topic, but a lot of interesting people who come by and bring their topics, and so I have fun that way.
This is fun. I like when it's a freestyle like this, when it's freelance and you can just like talk about anything. By the way, I did answer your question at the beginning before I came in. We picked number 5 because my wife and I are both retired and we need a good vacation. So we haven't had a good one in a while. The last time we had a vacation was actually traveling from the United States to come back to Canada because she's a native. She's originally from Newfoundland. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I need to get some more traveling under my belt too, but I haven't been out of the U.S. Other than, well, I went to Alaska, so flew over Canada or whatever. But
Alaska's cool. Yeah, I've been there. I've been to that western part of Canada one time. I took one of those cruise ships with my folks, and we went out all the way up to, I believe it was Juneau. I guess it was close to Juneau. I think we went that far. We didn't get to Anchorage, but we got to Juneau, and then we came back, and then we spent our last day or so in Vancouver, over in Victoria Island. So we actually went and got a high tea at the Empress. It's called the Fairmont Empress now, but it used to be owned by Canadian Pacific Rail, and I used to make reservations for them, including high tea. So that was fun.
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, and then I've had a high tea with my wife too. We went to a place here in Toronto where we live now, or Scarborough. It's a suburb, but we went to a place called the Windsor Arms. So if you ever come to Toronto, try that place. But make sure you do have a little bit of fundage on you because it's a bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. They were really nice people and everything. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd love to check that out.
oh yeah, for sure. Where in the states are you at, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm actually in the San Francisco Bay Area. Notice you got your Giants gear on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have known I'd be talking to you then. It's just kind of that innate like knowing, it's got I got that it's a blessing and a curse, just knowing. Yeah, I was born in the Bay Area actually. My brother and I were born 2 years apart, uh, on near Fifth Avenue in Geary, at the hospital that's there now, the Kaiser Permanente place. But this was before it became that. So we were both. I was born in '65. He was born in '67. We moved to Arizona in 1971, in the middle of summer. Imagine that, 100 degrees, and you're just, yeah, you're not used to it because you're coming from, cold, damp, foggy.
Yeah.
You live
Yeah. Oh
there.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
We took a
Uh,
road trip through there one summer when I was a kid, and I swear I felt like I was like literally melting uh, anywhere down there. Yeah, even in Southern California, like
oh, sure.
it's a whole different type of heat.
I've
Um,
lived in, yeah, so okay, so I'm turning 58 years old in September this year. My wife is going to have her birthday in a couple of weeks. Uh, she's going to be, well, I have to say 37. We have to go 20 years difference from what she's going to be. It's being polite, being nice to my wife, and she understands. She doesn't want to get any older. I don't want to get any older, but unfortunately, we all face that moving forward.
yes, it is quite unavoidable, unfortunately.
It quite is. Yeah, yeah, but I lived in Arizona for over 40 years, and I met Suzanne online uh, approximately 13 years ago, in 2010, and we got married 7 years ago in 2016 in Arizona, and then in 2017 I retired from my job early. I was just, I think I was not even turning 52 yet, and I went ahead and was able to fully retire. And my wife had already retired previously, so for other reasons, personal reasons. So we were just, yeah, we were ready, and then we left in August of 2017 from Arizona, and we haven't looked back since. We've been here since then. So
Did you two come from like previous like marriages or long term relationships when you got together, you and your wife?
we did, yeah. She actually had gone through three different relationships before she met me, and I had gone through two divorces before I met her. So it
Got you.
was,
Yeah. Kind of
yeah,
like
it
the
was.
same, like with as far as, well, I've been single for the past 7 years now, but
Uh,
prior to that, I went from kind of bouncing from one relationship to the next and then to the next. And, so they all lasted around 3 years, but I never did get legally married. So yeah, it's kind of complicated with all of that though, and kids and stuff like that. So
Sure. No, no, no. I understand. Well, what part of the city do you live in? In the city, or are you actually outside?
oh no, I'm well right now I'm living in San Pablo, Richmond area.
I know
Um,
it. I know it
yeah,
well. Yeah. So, do you mind me asking how much do you pay like a month of where you're staying?
yeah, I found that's how I ended up moving there. Actually, I found a room for rent for $800 a month. I
Wow,
get full access to the washer, dryer, and the kitchen and everything like that. But I have my own private room.
that's
Um,
not bad. Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have access obviously to transportation, right? So you can get around the city.
Yeah, well, right now I'm on public transportation. My car's actually been broken down since like the day that I moved into my place. I started having all this car trouble. So my car has been stuck up in the North Bay. So I keep having to come back and forth to deal with that.
Oh no!
But yeah, once I get that solved, life would be a lot easier.
Wow, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, I have a friend that I think you might know him. His name's Pop Culture Curator.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he lives across the bay over in San Leandro.
Oh, nice. All right, got you.
Yeah,
That's around
he's
my son's area too.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's unfortunately he's going through some medical problems right now. So yeah, we got prayers up for him. So he seems to be doing okay. He had some seizures, so he had to take some anti seizure medication, and they found something on his brain somewhere, and so now he's gone through these tests and everything. So we're like I said, we're saying some prayers, hoping he can get through it, and get through the therapy for it, chemo and whatever is required.
got you. I did not know that. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, I'm glad he's doing better now, but yeah, it sounds like he's got still a lot to deal with that.
A lot, and well, like I said, when he found out he had a cyst on his brain, yeah, not pleasant. No,
Yeah.
yeah, and yet what's funny is he was at the hospital, so he was actually communicating to us there, and he was waiting to take a few more MRI tests and uh, a cath ray test and that sort of thing. So
Got you.
it's been a tough month. My wife lost a friend of ours, well, friend of hers, longtime friend. Uh, he came down with that terrible thing called cancer, and he lasted for a little while, and then he finally passed away a week. I think it was like almost 2 weeks ago. So we went to his wake and everything. So yeah, it's been hard. And I thought
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
yeah, and my parents, I thought they were going to come visit us next month, but they can't because first of all, my dad said if he came here, his medical coverage wouldn't cover if anything happened to him. So I don't know what it is. It's just some sort of disagreement between the medical uh, policies, for medical insurance in the states as opposed to what it is here in Canada. And I guess it just doesn't compute. So best way to describe it. So I was just kind of down because my parents, you know, had to back out because of medical issues, and I said, I understand. I totally do. I feel blessed because I'm here and I'm able to uh, control and moderate. I have type 2 diabetes, and so does my wife. So we have a way of being able to control it, moderate it, take our pills, do our things. You know, we feel blessed that we're together and everything. And we have 2 cats. So if you see one of them try to grab at me down here, don't worry. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's deja vu and and they're playing right now. Deja Vu and Moon Pie. They're our babies. So it's good to have cats. If you can't have human kids with each other, have pets. Share pets and make sure that you're a cat lover or a dog lover if you're a dog.
Yeah, I've had both over the years. When I lost my last dog, my Jack Russell, it was pretty traumatic for me. And you know, we had me and my ex had a couple of other dogs, but they just weren't able to be with us very long because we were experiencing homelessness. So it was like we couldn't even take care of ourselves. How could we take care of these dogs? You know, but
That's sad.
but now my roommate keeps, well, she has the one cat who lives in the house,
Oh,
who's fixed and everything, but
okay.
she keeps all the ferals in the neighborhood around as well and feeds them, so we get a lot of traffic. And there's a little doggy that lives, a couple of houses down, that comes over for lunch every day. It's like,
How nice.
yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Uh, what was? Oh, okay. I was. So, are you? Do you follow the Giants? Are you a sports fan?
No, I've never really been big into baseball. So my dad was a coach. He was really into baseball for a long time. He played like semi pro ball, and my cousin played. My both of my younger brothers played, but I could never get into it as a spectator sport. Like it had its moments, but I enjoyed playing the game. I just never have been much of a fan of following um, athletes, especially since like the whole Barry Bonds thing and all of that just
Oh
kind of
yeah.
turned me off. But I mean, I still respect the game. I respect what the athletes do. I just don't invest a whole lot of time in following the. So yeah, it's more just like um,
Uh,
a bit of
I
a nostalgic thing.
oh for sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about my two favorite Barry Bonds stories. Uh, One of them is when he was down there in Scottsdale, Arizona. I used to go out there and watch some spring training ball games go on. And Barry was down there, of course, playing. And they threw him a curveball. He hits this ball. Uh, Scottsdale Stadium is a very nice stadium. It's got hillsides with grass and everything. It's very big. And Barry Bonds knocked this ball at least more than 400 feet, dead center field, out of the park. All of a sudden, we hear this beep, beep, beep. He hit a car alarm, or he hit a car, and right behind the stadium is Scottsdale Police Department. They have their police station and stuff. And in the parking lot, he hit a car. I don't know if it was a police car or somebody's vehicle, but you hear this alarm go off, and
Yeah,
it was
somebody who worked
hilarious.
there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
and it was hilarious. The other time, the other story I have is I went to travel over to Mesa, Arizona. The Los Angeles Angels, or I guess at that time Angels of Anaheim they called them, they had their new stadium set up there for spring training, and they were playing the Giants. So I went there. This was the last time I would get to see Barry Bonds play, so I was really excited. And I think he only batted twice, and I think the first time he got a single, and then the second time he just struck out on three pitches, and you could feel the wind from his bat. And I was sitting right there behind home plate, off to the right hand side of him, watching him try to bat. And I don't know what it was, but the whatever the whoever pitcher it was got him on three straight pitches, and the last one was just a big woof, like a big whiff.
Yeah,
It was the craziest thing, and I mean I've seen, like I said, I'd seen Barry Bonds hit home runs that would defy logic. Um, I saw him play the Diamondbacks once, and he was batting, uh, and this was in their Chase Field and the windows were open. And I swear, Barry Bonds hit this ball, and it went right out the window. That's how far it went. Like you didn't even see the ball anymore. It's gone. I swear. It was just freaking insane. And and like I said, I've seen him play, and I saw him strike out for the very last time. So I was very disappointed about that. So I really would have liked to see him hit a home run at least. But yeah, I I come from the I come up from a family. The notion is that when you're born in the Bay Area, your teams are as follows. You've got your 49ers, you've got your Giants, you got your Sharks, and you got your Warriors. That's your teams. Those are your teams for life. If you're born in the city, you're born in the area, those will never change. Those teams will never change. Uh, so that's where I come from. My dad took me. There was a really old stadium that used to be there before they tore it down, and Candlestick came around then. Candlestick's not there anymore. I know that, but before Candlestick, there was a place called Kezar Stadium, and the very first ball game I went to was when I was not even 3 years old yet. My dad took me to a game between the Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I guess that was ironic that later on, years later, I would see, Barry Bonds play for the Giants when he did start with the Pirates first and then came over. So
Right, him and what was the other guy? Daryl Strawberry, right?
no,
Yeah.
not Daryl, not Daryl. No. It was Barry and I want to say it was Matt Williams. I think those were
Okay,
the
yeah, I
two
knew
that
there were
came over.
two of the big hitters that switched over there.
Yeah,
So
Matt Williams was one of them, and the other one was Barry. And then
right,
you had this. Then you had this guy. It was really funny. You had this guy named J.T. Snow. You remember him?
which one?
J.T. Snow.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah. So I guess one of my friends knew his friend who knew his friend who knew him. And J.T. Snow. It's odd that I just remember that now. It just came from my deep subconscious. You don't want to go back there. It's pretty scary. Fair warning. Uh, anyway, so just to make a long story short, so I wanted to follow JT Snow's career, and I thought, well, this would be cool. It just, uh, you know, he was good in his day. He did a lot of things for the Giants, but he just didn't get the recognition, I guess. He was a very, I guess you would say, a very tireless player. He did his work. He did what he was supposed to do out there. I think he played like second base at one time, shortstop another time. He could play a couple of positions really well. Even first base, I believe he did once.
I think that was kind of a criticism of him, though, right? Because they were like, "Well, just pick a position and stick to it," right? But he,
Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. So that was the thing about JT Snow. That was cool. Oh, okay. Cat Cienfuegos just said, yes, sports ball. I liked when Wayne Gretzky struck out Bart Starr that one basketball.
oh yes. I no, I was gonna say like I was kind of a hockey fan when I was younger. Because hockey fights are cool, and
Yeah.
so I used to watch Sharks games on TV a bit, but again, never just like really followed closely. But
Yeah,
it
I,
was
I only I've only seen the Sharks once in my life. A buddy of mine. This was when I was working for Safeway Incorporated as a head cashier, and a friend of mine just took me to uh, a game between the Sharks and the Arizona Coyotes. And at the time, the Arizona Coyotes had their place at their arena, the ice arena there in Glendale, the Glendale Ice Arena, which is it's west of town. It's west of Phoenix. And he took me out there, and we went to see the game. Sharks won, by the way, so I was happy about that. But I knew one of the players for the Coyotes. They had originally came from Winnipeg. They were called the Winnipeg Jets then. Hello, Sterling.
Hello, how's everyone?
Doing
Greetings,
fantastic.
Sterling.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hope my audio is okay.
Oh, wonderful. So yeah, just
Sound
finish
good?
the story. Yeah, so just finish the story. So uh, there was a player from Winnipeg Jets I did actually get to meet in person. His name was Shane Doan, and we used to call him Donor. He was a nice guy, and he had been with the Jets before they moved down to Arizona. And at first they were the Phoenix Coyotes, and then they became the Arizona Coyotes. And their affiliate was called the Phoenix Roadrunners. A buddy of mine, Larry Bartels, played with the Roadrunners one season. So yeah, it was kind of cool. And well, when I saw the Sharks and Coyotes game, Donor was the only one who scored the one goal. The Sharks had four.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, sounds about right.
I told my friend, I said, "Well, who are you pulling for?" And he said, "Well, I'm pulling for the Coyotes, of course. Who are you pulling for?" I said, "Well, I'm a Sharks fan. I can't go against my team. I mean, yeah, I moved here, but come on, I gotta go for my Sharks." Cat Cienfuego says, "I like hockey. Hella fun to watch. It's basically just roller derby on ice with sticks." Yeah, but that's frozen ice, Cat. I tried that once. I can't go through that again. I
Yeah,
slipped too
until you
many
get a
times.
stick in your shoulder blades, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't play hockey. My friend did, but he got hurt a lot because he
Oh,
was
yeah, we
just a
used to play
rookie.
street hockey. Kids were vicious, man. We would be out there like pushing each other into parked cars and shit.
Yeah, on the asphalt. That's dangerous. Oh, it was, I guess. For I don't know. I watched a lot of kids do it, so yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying. It just seemed very dangerous to me.
Oh, yeah. Danger was part of the allure of it.
that's
Sterling,
that's
you with us, man?
Oh yeah, it's like
Oh,
when I was visiting my family over the holidays, my 6-year-old nephew, he said, "Yeah, but everything that's fun is a little dangerous." And I was like, "Dang, yeah, you're right, nephew. You're so right, though. You know."
what you tell your nephew in that instance is, all right, nephew, go have fun, but make sure you wear that helmet. You might hit the street.
can't be out there
Oh,
without knee pads. Yeah.
no kidding. Yeah, knee pads too.
Yeah, I think it was actually like in. I think what had happened was my dog pulled me on the skateboard. Like I put him on a harness and he pulled me around on the skateboard, like on the asphalt, and I had fallen and got a black eye. And
Oh
I think
no.
I think it was like talking about that when he saw me, he's like, "Yeah, but everything that's fun is a little dangerous." And I said, we got trouble over here." But it's so true.
It is.
So what's this poll question you got there, Ape?
The poll question was, if you had a $2,000 that were added into your Cash App, what would you use it for? To be honest, what would be your first
Yeah, there's a
order of
list of
business?
options, but you could choose your own option. I
Yeah,
got that from an Instagram user who's later deleted, but I figured it'd still be fun to.
to ask. Yeah, like I said, I answered a vacation. I think that my wife and I, deserve another vacation. We actually want to go to visit where she used to live, uh, over in Newfoundland. And there's a really nice, oh no, no, there's really great museum there, the Titanic Museum. I have always wanted to see it, and it's something I want to cross off my bucket list. So it's definitely something I want to check out. And I've never stayed in an Airbnb. That's really weird. I mean, I worked in the travel industry for like 13 years, and I never stayed in one of those bed and breakfast or Airbnbs or a cottage or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to that. If that's possible, we're gonna, take our cats with us and do it. Cat just said something else.
My friends and I just beat the piss out of each other in my buddy's basement or played video games, sometimes both. There were a lot of stitches, a few casts, maybe 2 or 3 concussions. Good times. I remember those. Yeah, we did a bit of that.
I
I
do
still
too.
remember my buddy who's like now a fucking he's a you know a ranking guy in the U.S. Army, but I remember getting him stoned for the first time and him falling into a fucking 6x5 or 6x4 foot hole or whatever we had dug out for the septic tank in the backyard, but it was just this big empty trench, and we got him stoned, and he just freaking went, "Boop, boop, boop," and next thing you know, he's like face down in the dirt, and we're like pulling him out of a hole in the dark. And now this guy's like, in charge of, people who kill people and stuff. So,
Oh man. I had a buddy who, I'll tell you another soldier story. This is so true. I had a buddy of mine who I knew online. Uh, he was, fighting over there in Afghanistan. And he showed me a video. This was actual video from one of the Army Humvees. They had these dromedary camels that were running across the road, but one of them was too slow. And this video actually showed the camel getting hit by a Humvee. Like, literally just getting, like, knocked off the side of the road. And I asked my buddy, I said, "Is that real?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I asked him, what happened to the camel?" He said, "The camel still lived. It got knocked, just got its ass knocked off to the side of off the road. And then he got back up, like, after he, like, got knocked out, and then got back up and ran off." I thought that was insane. I've
yeah,
never seen anything
that's
like
pretty
that
cool.
before. Yeah. And he got back home from Afghanistan, so knock knock to my friend. I'm glad he got back home safe. Yeah, he
Yes,
lived
good
down
thing for
south.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy did 2, 3 tours in Afghanistan. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3 now, but yeah, he's been home for a while. But he's talking about deploying again. And he just went back into active. So
Oh wow.
always thankful those guys are there. Even we don't always
Absolutely.
agree with the reasons we're out there. You have somebody out there, I guess.
Yeah, I have a cousin. His name is Justin, and he just recently got back. I think he just got back. I don't know if he went back out there again, but he had just recently got back. Um, and he got to lay over. I think it was in Saudi Arabia, and then at a base there, and then he came home for a little bit of a pass and a rest and everything, and I think he was going to go back out, but I don't know. I think they kept him closer to home because his parents were really worried. Uh, his dad had served, and so and that was hard on my other cousin Laura, his wife. So seeing their son go out was tough enough on them. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
like I said,
Pressure.
he's okay. He's
Yeah.
doing okay. Yeah. So.
Sterling, I wanted to give you. Did you want to answer that question? What if you had $2,000 right now? What would be your best use for it? Did you want to go for that one? Or?
I think that I would pay my entry fee to run for mayor. It costs $1,000 to run for mayor where I live, so I'd pay the $1,000, and then I would use the other $1,000 to make like probably, I don't know if it would be like billboards, signage. I'd have signage, yeah, and I'd be like put my name on like the yard signs and the billboards and the ink pens and that sort of thing.
Where
Wait, like your YouTube logo? You
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this will work. Yeah, I already got it made and everything. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not trying to
So,
reinvent the wheel. Am I?
so Sterling, do you mind me asking, where do you live? Where do you live?
Right now, I'm in South America, but I think I would go back home to South Carolina and run for mayor there.
What's the town there in South Carolina you could run mayor for?
Charleston.
Charleston.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a few friends that moved recently from Hollywood. uh, California. Well, up in the hills. They didn't actually live in right in the city. They were outskirts, but they got out of there like in a few months ago, and now they're trying to find a home. They're trying to build a home in Charlotte, North Carolina. So,
Okay.
and she's a singer. She sings mostly Christian type songs. It comes from Christian soft rock genre. So
Yeah, Abe, how did you answer the question?
I answered it number five. I actually said that because my wife and I are fully retired, that we deserve a nice, good, relaxing vacation. So I would, if I got $2,000 today or tomorrow, you know, as a windfall or something, no questions asked, I would take us on vacation. I'd go right away. Take, take the four of us, our cats too. They're support pets. We get really good discounts when we have a support pet with us. My thing keeps falling out. There we go.
The support pet. I mean, isn't the gig up on the whole support pet? I mean, we all know it's fake, right? I mean, like it's super.
Well,
What?
no, it's not really fake. Well, in our case, okay, to be fair, we have two cats, and we we both have medical conditions, my wife and I. So legitimately, you can use. Well, I hate to say the word use. Um, you can have a pet of your own, and rely on that pet for moral support, friendship, emotional support, especially if you have to go through surgeries or other kinds of examinations, which might be difficult on your psyche, your mentality, everything like that. So I don't think they're fake. No, I think that there's some legitimate uses for allowing your pets to become your support pet. And like I said, if you go travel anywhere, you're going to save money with them. You do. Some places will let your pet stay for free with you, where normally they would charge money. Now there was a place that we had pets before. We were in Fort Hays, Kansas, and we stayed at a nice motel there, which offered breakfast in the morning and so forth. Now this really sounds crazy. They were going to charge us $300 for the pets initially. Okay, besides the room. The room was, inexpensive enough. But they were going to charge us an outrageous rate for the pets. But when we told them that the pets are legitimately our support pets, and we can back it up with paperwork and all that stuff, they cut it discount on those pets. The at the time we had three cats. Uh, they were like medium sized, kittens, cats. So anyway, the three of them got us in the room, and we only had to charge. They only had to charge $30 total for all three cats. So we saved over 90% because we called them support pets, and we had the paperwork to back them up. So, well, yeah, it's not a fake thing to me. At least to our experience.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. Like I remember we violated the no smoking policy in my hotel one time, and they fucking charged my friend's credit card like $1,500. I still owe that guy money. Um,
Wow.
yeah, they don't mess
Because
around with that stuff.
yeah, because well, I hate to say this. Okay, so we live in a right now in Scarborough, Canada. We live in a 17-story building, which has a no smoking policy. But the thing is that the superintendent doesn't quite enforce it. Now, if he catches someone actually smoking that sets off our fire alarm in this building, he's gone or she's gone. You know what? They'll be booted out, no questions asked. But see, what happens is that sometimes the tenants, our other tenants here, are able to get away with it most of the time. You know, they can go into the elevator sometimes and light it up and whatever. And then other times we have we have a couple of balconies, okay, which you can walk out to and everything. So then most of them will go outside and they'll smoke outside. They'll be nice about it, but but some people don't. And I really wish those were the people that got caught. But they're smart. They play the game. The supervisor plays the game, you know, and some of them get away with it, unfortunately.
As as my somebody always told me, it's all about who you know and who you blow.
Yes, I agree. I agree. That's one of those things. Sterling, I was going to ask you uh, that background. I've seen that with Seinfeld. Is that true?
Yeah. That used to be my favorite show when I was a kid.
Nice. No
So
soup
yeah,
for you. The soup Nazi. No
that's
soup
right.
for you.
That's right. That's right. You know, I'll tell you what, one thing that I've been watching
Yeah,
recently, my friends have been turning me on to Fish Tank. Have you guys heard of Fish Tank? We
fish
talk
tank.
about. Yeah,
No,
I'm not familiar with that.
no,
so
not me either.
it's like on a website. I think it was fishtank.live.
Okay,
Anyway, it was brought to you by this one comedian named Sam Hyde. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sam Hyde.
doesn't
Uh,
sound familiar. No.
Well, yeah, he wasn't one of. It wasn't on my radar really either. But anyway, it's kind of like a Big Brother or like a Real World type show where these strangers live together and all these shenanigans happen. Which we've seen that kind of show before over and over. But with this one, what I really liked about it was the fact that it's also kind of like an experiment in free speech as well. Because it's not on any network or YouTube or anything like that. It was just like on their website.
Yeah.
So it was really kind of like, okay, Kat knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
Yeah,
at least she knows.
yeah,
Trusty and I don't quite know what's going on. So when you're talking about it, but cool. It sounds cool. It sounds cool.
yeah. It wasn't my favorite. My friends actually kind of liked it more than I did. But what I did appreciate about it was just the free speech part of it. And that was the first thing I noticed because when you're watching something, when you're viewing like true, like free, uncensored, unadulterated free speech,
Yeah.
you recognize, your brain recognizes it's, whoa, I'm not used to this. You know what I mean? Like you get that feeling like anything can happen, and some wild shenanigans did happen, of course. But
Oh
I
yes.
think they're really on to something, and it just kind of made me. It kind of made me think that the future is probably geared towards that, just independent, your own website, because there's so much censorship that things are just, even conversations like these.
We're just moving towards just unfiltering people, like through YouTube and mediums like that, where it's just like you just want to be able to say whatever you want and
Yeah.
fuck the rest. Like,
Oh sure. I believe now. I'm sensing this as a trend, right? It's been trending. Uh, Meetings like this, being online, saying what you want to say without any recourse, any you know transgression, so to speak. I like this concept because, to me, what it says to me is I do have freedom of speech. I can say what I want. I have to be careful, but overall, it gives me a chance to, you know, talk with others, communicate with others around the world, say what I'd like to say. And then if they agree, that's great. If they don't, that's fine too. But you know what? I think that if more people do this across countries, across boundaries, across borders, we may not have a war. We may not have an Armageddon. We may not have future fights because you could settle all your differences online and take care of talking to people and understanding, uh, where they come from. That's my dream. I mean, that's my hope. That's what I hope for.
Well, yeah, because the whole point of communication is not just to express yourself, but also understand the expressions of others, right? And like find some middle ground where we, yeah, articulate to each other. And it's not, I feel like so much of, whatever, there's like this one-sided conversation where if I don't like your opinion, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's like, well, that's not a conversation. That's the ender.
Yes, yes. I have this thing where if I'm going to talk to someone, uh, I get I, I get it that some people say they can read people, right? They can just look at them and just say, "Hey, this guy looks interesting," or "Hey, this guy kind of maybe he doesn't want to be bothered. Maybe he's got too much on his mind," things of that nature. I'm a very outgoing person. My wife will tell you. I love to talk to other people, and if they seem interested, I'm going to continue to chat with them until they decide they just don't want to be around me, and I'll understand that. I will. I won't hate them for it. I'm like, look, conversation is a very. I think it's a very delicate, fragile thing. If you're able to talk to people in some way, and they can understand you, and maybe they can even uh, agree with you, or maybe share your similar qualities. I think that's how you can, you know, become friends. You know how you can make friends. It's difficult in this society nowadays to make any friends. It really is. I see it a lot. I see it every day. You know.
And I realized that so much of the content that I absorb and that I take in comes from an app, which comes from a network, which comes from some sort of conglomeration, which comes from some corporation. And what I don't do is take the time to, like, go to, for example, infowars.com. I don't go to a lot of websites per se. It's all off an app. But when you do that, you can be guaranteed that it's being censored. That's not free speech. This isn't free speech. There's so many
Right.
people that can't even be on this platform. But when you take out that middleman and you broadcast, I guess, from your own URL, from your own website, to me, that seems like the future that the corporations are going to fight against. But I don't know how. I don't know how you can fight against someone who has their own website, unless you're just trying to silence them and make sure nobody finds out about them.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Yeah.
you know how Google does it. They just you make it so that you don't show up in the algorithm if they don't like your content. So they've already got that down. They can just basically stomp you out via their comparative influence in internet search, right? Like, and then you have all these companies kind of doing something similar of that nature. So that's the only. But if you have the URL direct, there's no way they can really stop you. People are still going to find that website. They're just going to have to find it through word of mouth.
Yeah. I was gonna. Well, okay. Kat just put another thing, but I was gonna ask Kat if she wants to join us. She's more than welcome. She can come in here and give her views if she wants.
Oh yeah, cat knows. Cat knows she can come in. She's probably got other things going on in the background. No, we're friends here.
That's cool. What did she say just then? Sam Hyde is making out like a bandit. I was just reading the last thing she said. He's making out like a bandit. Also, Sam Hyde is like what? I can't read that last thing. Oh, I need my glasses. Here we go again. My sight goes out. Oh, there it is. Is like iDubbbz's least favorite person ever. Okay, I was just reading what she said. There we go. Yeah, I know what you guys are saying. There was a StreamYard site that was. Oh, there you are. Hello, Abe.
My
Yeah.
joint went out. I was like, I
Oh,
was just
that's
coughing.
okay. You,
Sorry, I
you,
smoked pot on
you,
stream. So.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was just gonna say you look like you got that Twilight Zone vibe.
Yeah, I'm in like the dark space, and I'm like, burning duty,
That's
man.
okay, man. That's complimentary, man. That's a compliment. That's not a detriment or a diss. No, you look cool. Sterling. So where in? Hey, so where are you at, Sterling? In you said you were in South America,
Yeah, I'm in Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
are
I
you
love.
safe there? Do you feel safe? I know it's a bad country. I'm sorry.
You know that?
I do.
How do you know that?
Name Colombia?
Yeah.
Well, where do you want me to start? Drug cartels? Tourists are always in danger.
Yeah.
Uh, the military constantly like goes after drug villages, things like that. They do a lot of raids. I don't know. It's just and then the guy next door, what Venezuela? You know, the guy who's in charge of Venezuela's
Talking
got
about,
all up in arms. Yeah. So
you talking about Maduro?
yeah, Maduro. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about him though? What'd you say?
I'm just saying he was up in arms, literally. Like,
What does that? What does that mean?
well, I guess what that means is I don't know. He has a hard time trying to figure out. I guess he wants to have his own independent, you know, his country to be like free of any aid or help or anything like that. I don't know. He you know I he doesn't bother me. I mean, uh, some people I talked to said that he's scary. That he's like a kind of dictator. I don't know. I don't believe that's true. I just think that he's going through a lot of mess with like I said with drug excuse me, drug cartels, kingpins, that sort of thing. It's all a big deal to him, I guess.
Yeah. No. But yeah. Yes, it's safe here. I feel safer here than what I did where I was living back in the States.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
I feel like people try to, well, like our government in the States, especially tries to demonize countries like these, and they don't want you to ever consider living here. They don't want you to know that your money's 5 times more valuable here than it is there, and they don't want you to leave the country, period, and they'll do anything, and to keep you from doing it. And as far as Maduro goes, yeah, he's not the boogeyman though either. All he wants is, like you said, freedom for his own country, and he wants to be able to use his oil for his people, and he wants his people in his country to profit off of their own resources, which you know uh the United States says, nah, nah, nah. Uh,
That's
I
interesting, like, because they have like there's a mentality where they say love it or leave it, and then people are like, well, I can't even afford to leave, and they don't realize that they actually probably could afford to leave pretty easily if they really wanted to, and they just don't try.
well, yeah, yeah, absolutely. People don't consider it because of what they've always heard and what they've always been told, that it's better here, and that you that it's your fault if you can't get by on a 40-hour a week job, and what you need is another one. And don't even consider that it's better anywhere else because they can't even afford food and medicine. But what they don't tell you is that we blocked food and medicine from coming in and out of Venezuela. You know what I mean? The struggles of Venezuela are inflicted by us because they wouldn't play ball with us. And that Maduro who got elected over there got elected by a landslide. The people love him. They worship
yeah.
him
Oh yeah.
because he's trying to take care of them as opposed to taking care of us. And that's what got him in hot water.
What? I'm trying to understand the situation. So Maduro was offering services to help, and then of course now he's saying, "I'd rather we take care of ourselves and not worry about our neighbors. Is that what he's saying?
Maduro got elected because the people of Venezuela were tired of being stepped on by the white man in America. They were tired of being taken advantage of. They were tired of their resources being stolen and given away for nothing. And
Literally.
and
Yeah.
he said that's it. We're not going to do that. We're going to be paid a fair wage, and you're not gonna be stealing from us and the people of Venezuela. And what did we do was we said, okay, well, guess what? You're no longer the president of Venezuela. We think that Juan Guaido is the president of Venezuela. Now, never mind that Juan Guaido was never elected. He never ran.
You
We
never ran.
we
Right.
just pointed to a guy we just pointed to a guy and said, "No, this guy is your president. We don't we
Sure.
don't we don't identify the president that you elected, the one that you want, because it doesn't serve our best interest." And so, yeah, and we actually tried to assassinate him too, Maduro. You can see it on YouTube.
You could call that mob rule, though. I mean, that's legit mob rule.
And explain what you mean by that, Abe.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Well, I mean, if it's not a democratically held election, then it's done by force or threat of force. So that is a mob rule mentality.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's that or a coup or
A
whatever.
Yeah,
coup.
you
A
could call
coup.
it a political revolution, possibly. I mean, I
Uh,
guess it depends on what the majority is saying, but I guess if there's no time in which to hold an election, and they just say, "Hey, we're tossing you out," then um,
I consider it, from what I don't know from history, I would consider it a political coup only if the armed forces that serve Maduro were all of a sudden going to rise up in chaos and
well,
decide
so that
to
if it's
oust
a
him.
coup, wouldn't the military be involved in some?
It would. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's what they call a military coup. There's two types. Okay, mostly. When you have a military coup, you have your armed forces of your country are just saying, you're not running us anymore. We're going to take over your position. So they'll storm your palace or whatever the main place is for where you serve, and they will go in and by force they'll take you out of there and in a military coup and clean house. The other way is you can have a political coup, which sometimes involves military, but sometimes it involves the people. And so what happens is you have you have like a Congress or like a council, right? That's underneath Maduro. And let's just say that council's tired of him and says, "Hey, we got to get him out of here, but we need our villagers' help. We need the people to come in and help us take him out of there." And so I don't know, either by force or by vote, an overwhelming vote, they can get him out of there. And then if they need help extra, they'll ask a few, of the forces to come in to maintain order, and then they'll just take him out. But but if
Well,
you're saying,
that's kind of my question. Is it by active demonstration, or is it like storm the gates, like January 6th or something like that? Like
yeah, if
what?
like I said, if the council itself or parliament or whatever it is has enough supporters to demonstrate, protest, whatever, and if they have the military endorse those people that are protesting, then they'll stand aside, the military or whoever protects the president of the country, they'll stand aside and they'll let the people themselves go in and take over. I've seen that happen too. So, you know, I think the military
But
has to
is
be
that
more
what happened
organized.
here?
I don't know. You know what? I've looked at it. I've seen what's going on periodically, but you know what? I haven't seen anybody really with enough. Uh, what's the word? Pull, I guess, with enough pull to get him out. Nobody is, and now that they've already tried to assassinate him, he's got even more protection than ever. So it's even more difficult to oust him because he has that protection. So, and like you just said, uh, the people love him. That's what Sterling said.
Yeah, what ended up happening was, I think it was just a few weeks ago, Juan Guaido, who was educated in Washington D.C., which is no surprise that we tapped him to be the president. We tried to install him as the president, but the problem is their country and the rest of the world just didn't recognize it because it was bogus, nor should they. And now Juan Guaido can't even walk down the streets of Venezuela because he's looked at as a traitor. And from what I heard, he just got asylum in Miami because it's not even safe for him to live in Venezuela.
To live in Caracas, right? That's where the presidential place is, in Caracas. Maracas from Caracas. That's what. That's a running joke. You get your maracas from Caracas. I used to play maracas for a band and stuff. I used to play a lot of different instruments, a lot of percussion instruments, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
You played out like gigging and stuff like that, or did you just do in the studio, or?
No. Well, it's a long story, but when I was growing up, I used to play a flute. Well, first the recorder, then a flute, and then a piccolo. But that was just, I was in a school band from like third grade all the way to about ninth grade when I went to a Catholic school for just my freshman year. And I got to march on the field and everything. I can say I did that, and I was able to enjoy marching on a field with other musicians and play my flute or my piccolo in that case. That was a lot of fun. Um, when I started singing was in 1996, and several years ago. So it's been like 27 years I've been singing. Uh, with a couple different groups. I was with a jazz group one time. I was with a guy. His name was Bobby Cook. He's moved over back east for down there in the states. Or no, I'm sorry. He moved out west with a buddy of mine. His name was Danny. They moved to the Henderson, Nevada area outside of Las Vegas because his mom wasn't feeling well. But I used to play with his band. But what I did was I sang, I played drums, and in some certain songs we did, uh, it was what he gave it a unique name. He called it jamioke. So it's basically instrument jam along with karaoke singing. So that's what I did for a number of years with his group. Was I played different types of percussion, like like I said, maracas, Congo drums, you know, regular drums, all that sort of thing. And then I would be able to sing backup harmonies with most of the people that would come up and sing, and they need a backup to help them. And so I was blessed enough by God to, have a singing talent, and I was able to sing along with them. But yeah, I performed in I sang with Little River Band and didn't even know it. In a casino, a place called Casino Arizona we were in a showroom and they were performing. I always wanted to see this band since I grew up in the '70s, listening to them. And they put a microphone. I had one of those tables that was near to the stage, and I guess some of the roadies or some of the people in the back were hearing me sing along with them. So they put the mic right down my table, and I actually sang like 5 songs with them before they finished. And I got a standing ovation from the entire showroom. It was filled like with about over 100 people, and I sang in Laughlin, Nevada, at a Elvis uh, show. They had a exhibit, which I was there for like almost 5-6 hours, and then I got to sing on stage. I knew a buddy who runs a few karaoke shows out there in Laughlin, so I got to sing there on stage with people. And then when I was in Las Vegas, I ran into another friend of mine, and I got to go and sing in a few hotels in Las Vegas. And I actually went to a place near the Strip and I sang a few songs, and people could hear my voice on the strip. And it's amazing when you see a few people stop and listen and poke their heads in and try to see who it is that's actually singing. So, and church choir too. I was in church choir for 3.5 years. So. Lots of fun.
Nice.
It's lots of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in a few performing acts myself. Like
That's
I've
cool.
fronted a couple of like hard rock, punk rock bands, and then now I play rhythm guitar and I do backup vocals in one group, and then I'm lead guitar, lead vocals in another group. So it's like,
Do you
and I
mind me
play bass
asking?
and drums throughout, so it's been like, it's a trip when you're out there just, trying to gig, man, like try to make a little money, and
Oh yeah.
everybody's
Oh,
different,
oh
quirks
yeah.
and things like
Sure.
that.
I was gonna ask you what was the name of your groups? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, my first group was called No Right Turn. Now there's another band by the same name or something, but at the time, like we were the only one. But yeah, that stuff's out there, and then we changed our name to Dead Hope, and then
Dead Hope. Okay.
LAME.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got like I usually put links out there and shit, but I don't have any of that up tonight. But Yeah, yeah, and now so my recent group is the Trusty Apes, which like just like the channel Trusty Ape, but
Trustee
Trusty
A.
Apes plural, and
Nice.
Calicide is a group that I've known for a number of years, and I used to like hang out with them when I was younger, and they're like so they used to be a 5-piece band, now we're a 4-piece, and I play guitar with them, so it's it's been like a growing experience over the years.
Yeah, that's very cool. I actually, like I said, when I first started singing in 1996, I had just got off my first divorce, and I had only made maybe one or two friends when I was living in Colorado at the time. So when I moved back to Arizona, I only knew one or two friends at the time who I remember running into, I guess, before I left. When I came back and I started to, I was down, and it was actually my sister Bernadette who actually introduced me to karaoke and said you should go and try it out, sing. And I even remember the first song I did. It was "Babe" by Styx, and I did terrible the first time. But 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 I did have a few people applaud me, for trying. And I said to the KJ karaoke jockey, you probably know that, but I said to the KJ at the time, I said, look, I'll practice, I'll come back, and I promise you, I'll sing it a lot better next time. He says, well, we're looking forward to that. So he really did challenge me. And I went and I listened and listened and listened. And luckily, I had it recorded already on tape, so I could like play it back, sing along to it myself, do it, whatever. Listen to my voice, see how it would harmonize, everything like that. So then 3 weeks later, I came back and sang the song again. Did it really well. It sounded almost like it came from the radio, and I got a standing ovation. And I was like, well, I was hooked. And like I said, I haven't stopped singing since. But it's been really difficult to find a karaoke place here in the Toronto area. A lot of places just don't do it anymore. With the COVID, uh, pandemic and everything. They're
Yeah.
really careful. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been making a comeback around here, but I just could never get into karaoke. Like I've done a couple open mics and a couple like solo performances. That was really challenging for me. I don't know. I have like because I play cover songs on stage, but I don't know. It's different for me doing karaoke when I go out there. I don't know. It's just interesting the like dynamic of it. Just
I like practicing. That's my thing. Is whenever I get a chance, I like to play music. I got a lot of music downloaded from YouTube. I have my own playlist for that, and you know, it's songs that my wife and I both love. Mostly. So I try to like pull them up every once in a while, just kind of sing along to them and stuff. I actually discovered a couple days ago a buddy of mine. His name is he goes by the name of Jedi Bill 797. He has a karaoke StreamYard site uh, that he runs like 4 days a week, I think. And I told him yesterday or a couple days ago, he let me sing two songs there, and which I thought was cool. And I also found out he lives down in the Tucson, Arizona area, which is ironic because like I said, I left Arizona behind and the United States behind 6 years ago and haven't looked back since. But I thought it was ironic that I, come across the guy that, lives down in the southern part of a place I lived in never lived, but I actually visited a few times. And yeah, so I mean, his karaoke channel. Yeah, his name is Jedi Bill 797, and he has a karaoke rounds of things that he does like I said, 4 days a week. He's supposed to be doing something later this evening on Wednesday night, around I think like 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. So you might
All
want
right.
to check it out. You might have some fun. Never know.
Yeah, I don't have the. I would like try to search and share, but I don't have all those capabilities right now.
Sure,
I don't know if we've lost Sterling. I don't know. Are
Sterling.
you a music enthusiast? Or are we just
Oh, well, yeah, I'm still here, by the way. I am a music fan. I don't do any music. Last time we talked about it, and you kind of challenged me. I was like, I know I'm almost 40, but I'm not saying it's too late for me. Like, I got a lot of free time, so I'm not counting it out. But I like karaoke. It's fun. It's exciting. It gives me like the rush, adrenaline rush, and a lot of people just will not do it. They're afraid or scared, and I just don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be someone because like I thought about it, and you just really have nothing to lose. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. Like you might get your feelings hurt. You might get your feelings hurt if nobody likes it. You know what I mean? But like, so what? Like, I mean, if that's all you have to lose, that's nothing. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah, it's cool you said that, Sterling, because in my experience, I realize it's not for everyone. But you know what? If you want to have fun, just have fun. Remember what it means in Japanese. It means tone deaf. Well, who cares? I don't care at all, really. If I'm having a difficult day, and I love saying this, my wife is my number one fan. She loves me. I love her. She loves how I sing. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, so I do it because I want to have. We have a rough time. If something's going on, we just want to walk in, be able to, you know, have a Coke, or something to drink, and then I just like to go up there and challenge myself. See if I still have the voice that I had for a while. I could do every range except for very low. I have a difficult time singing baritone and bass, but I could sing everything from alto all the way up to falsetto. I had
Yeah.
that kind of voice for a while.
I'd like to hear
But
you. I would love to hear you do some like BGs in the falsetto or some
yeah,
stylistics
well, I
in the
you know what?
falsetto.
You're giving me an idea for Jedi's Bill's stream he's gonna run tonight. I was actually gonna try doing PG's Tragedy song. That's a very high song to do, actually.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Barry Gibb himself, like, you can tell he really hits that high falsetto note and maintains it. That is the most difficult thing to do. Believe me, you know, I've listened. I've listened to people that have tried it. That they think they're Steve Perry, or they think they're Brian Johnson from ACDC. or who's that other guy? Cloverdale. I guess they used to sing with the what was the name of that group that did? It's the one that's that they did Jet City Woman and Silent Lucidity. Queensryche. That's it. So the guy from Queensryche, and then the other one that has a really high voice that I got to see, so blessed to see him in concert, was David Lee Roth. I got to see Van Halen perform.
What
That
about
was a lot of
the
fun.
Mars Volta? That's who I thought you were talking about for a second. That got a pretty high voice too. Yeah.
Mars Volta, right, right. Yeah, there's a few artists that I know I'll never reach their range. I know that, but it's worth a try. I get a kick out of it, and I don't do badly. I mean, I don't kill the song, you know. So it's a lot of fun. I'm just blessed. Like I say, I thank God every day that I have a voice, that I can express myself. I'm able to sing. It's a blessing. It really is. And I know where you come from, Trustee Abe. I know, uh, being able to do a gig, getting paid for it, but enjoying what you do. That's the beauty of it. And the same thing with you, Sterling. I'm sure that applies to you as well.
Yeah, it's been a challenge for me lately. Part of my depression for sure has been like, that I don't get to enjoy music as often and express myself in that way. And,
Uh-huh.
so it's something that I have to work at, whereas it used to come naturally to me. I've kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what you really all you have to do then is just kind of work a little bit harder to make it more enjoyable for yourself and make it fun. Make it more fun. That's what you do, right? You enjoy doing it, so make it more fun. Just work at it a little bit harder. You don't have to kill yourself over it. You just, you got the natural talent. I can tell. You got that natural born talent. I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your face. Like, I can tell. So just enjoy what you're doing. And like I said, if you feel like you have to work a little harder, then work a little harder. But work at something you love doing. That's the important thing.
Is this the part where Mikey sings a little something for us and Ape plays a little something?
I would, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. I don't want to wake up my wife. I'm trying to keep myself a
Yeah,
little,
I was gonna say,
later on, maybe tonight. If you, like I said, if you come by Jedi Bill's 797's channel, you'll hear me sing there. I'll do a couple songs there tonight. Hopefully, see what they have for me. Then you'll get to hear me sing. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful day.
since it's yeah, it's after 1 in the morning here and stuff, and very very late for you. I should probably call it. I do have the guitar over here, but we'll save that.
Well,
I don't know. I don't
you
know.
can play a couple notes if you want. I can hum it or whatever you want. I'm trying to set up I have a buddy of mine who lives in Chicago. His name is PJ Destin. He's a singer. He's an actor. He's done some off Broadway plays. He's multi talented, and I've wanted to collaborate with him. Oh, thank you, Sterling. Sterling had to go, so he just said thanks, Ape, in the chat, his private chat. Yeah, I'm trying to collaborate with PJ on on anything really. Just you know, um, he likes to sing, obviously, and he's heard me sing. He's seen my videos. I've seen his, and we're just trying to set up a collab. To excuse me, to do a duet online on YouTube, and then put it out there and see what people think and whether we should do more stuff together. And uh, it's been it's been challenging just trying to find the talent. I'm glad you're talented, Trustee A. It's just hard to
Oh,
find.
thank you.
Yeah, it's just hard to find
I
talent out
appreciate
there.
that.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Sterling, for coming. And
Thank you, Sterling. Is Kat still with us, or she pretty locked up?
she might have dropped out. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think this is in tune.
yeah.
What songs do you? What song is it you want to hear?
Hmm.
I don't think it's in tune.
Can you play
We tried.
can you play any Journey songs like a slow
Journey?
song? Yeah, Journey.
No.
Like a slow song like Lights or something like that.
No, not off the top of my head. Not with this out of tune guitar. I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay.
No.
What do you sometimes sing cover songs from other bands and stuff?
Yeah. I've done a few in the past.
What's
No,
one of the cover
that's actually
songs?
how I learned to play.
Oh, cool. I wish I knew how to play a guitar. I'm only good at drums. It'd be hard for me to play a flute again. It really would.
No, I learned to play like Nirvana's Nevermind and some Primus licks. I started out on bass guitar, and then I just like started writing songs from there. And so I just learned like basic 4-chord punk stuff, and then just started writing my own riffs and yeah, kind of learned as I went. So I play by ear mostly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Would you Hmm. Okay. I'm not really unless I have the. I gotta be honest. Unless I had the lyrics in front of me on the screen or something, uh, I have a hard time trying to remember. I've memorized a few songs in my life, uh, but not many. So it's like I said, if I had a sheet in front of me or something that had words, I could sing from that. Um, is there any covers you would know that you think I probably would know by heart or sing by heart or be able to sing some of the some of the lines?
I question my own memory now. I used to know so many songs, and now it's
Right.
like, yeah,
Let's see. Come as you
I'm
will,
like, I would have to
as
think
I
about it. Yeah.
love
Oh
you.
yeah, I could play Polly, or smells like Teen Spirit, obviously.
Out the rise of
Breed.
happiness. Yeah,
Those
here
ones are kind
I
of
am.
heavier though. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'll have to think of a good one here. But yeah, I'm like I don't have the means to because my tuner is on the phone and I'm streaming, on mobile. So it's
uh,
like I'm just kind of stuck with this. If I close out, then it will probably remove me from the stream. I guess I could do that and come back, but I
yeah,
was like, I'd want to didn't want to like keep you, at the moment. It's
yeah.
like I
No,
probably
no.
need to get going to bed as well, but
Oh, for sure.
it's been cool hanging out.
Yeah, it's been very cool. I really appreciate you allowing me to chat with you and Sterling this morning. It's very cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it was great getting to know you, and hope you return. And yeah, I try to do
Yeah.
these usually on Monday at some point, although my schedule's been all out of whack. I've been streaming like every other day, really, because I just can't help myself. But
Sure. Oh, what's like
at least
the
you've seen.
what's oh yeah yeah what's like the best times that you usually can stream? Because I really would like to collaborate with you on a song and see if we can get others interested in maybe like wanting to sing along, collaborate maybe with instruments they play too. Have like kind of that little like a group thing. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be awesome. I've got my buddy Tobin. I've done some online collaborations with. Brojo. I know he's been doing some stuff like that. So maybe we'll try to see about inviting some people over. Um,
Okay, so you
on
got
like
you've got my website, right? Or do you need me to type it out for you in the chat?
you have a .com
No, I
or
don't have
like
I don't have a .com. No. I just have uh my it's exactly what it says. Mikey
yeah
Stevens
no
for
I'm gonna
yeah.
like I
Just
said
go to
right
Mikey
now because
underscore
I'm
Suze 4 on YouTube and
oop yeah
no.
yeah I got your name now, so I'm gonna search you up. I haven't I don't know if I subscribe to a lot of channels, and then I get kind of caught up with it. Like I don't know if I sub to you, but I know that we have some mutual friends,
I
obviously.
sub to
So
you. Yeah, I did sub to you. So uh,
I'm gonna go do
you
that
should see
right
my
now.
channel in your yeah. You should see your channel in the list of subscribers, and it has the cat. Our cat Moon Pie is my avatar. So if you come across that and it says Mikey underscore Suze 4
All
on
right,
YouTube, yeah, and then subscribe
excellent.
me. And then what we can do is after I run my next stream next month, um, I want to start doing some collabs with some musicians and stuff. And you can be my first one, uh, that I'm talking to, that we can start putting some things together. Some streams and have other like people come. If they want to bring an instrument with them, or if they want to sing along with me, they want to try harmonies with me. I accept everyone. If they got a voice, that's all I care about. As long as I can, you know, hum along, sing along.
Yeah,
Hell,
I'm
even
down
if
for
they burp along,
that. As long as
like
it's in harmony, right?
as
Uh,
long as it's in harmony. Yeah.
sounds excellent. I want to thank everybody who came by. I got Snake was right. Definitely pay off my browser stats.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yes. I believe. Uh,
And of course,
uh,
Cat Cienfuegos and Sterling.
yes, Sterling and Kat, and of course Mikey.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's been like a weird night, man, and finally, like the stream maybe or something, you know. If you didn't do that already, I noticed some people were liking the stream, and I was like, "That's cool," because I guess it's supposed to be good, but I don't really, if
It
you
might have
like it
been.
or not,
Yeah,
like
it might have been trusty that maybe some of us couldn't sleep yet. But I guarantee you, after this, I am going to sleep. I'm going to try to sleep. Yeah, for sure. I'm a night owl. In fact, that's ironically what the first song I got to sing with Little River Band was Night Owls, and I actually got to sing. It was they have a 4-part harmony when they were growing up. When they were playing in the '70s, but then with my voice, it was a 5-part harmony. That's why the whole place went ape crazy. I almost said ape shit, but they all
nice.
went ape. Yeah, they all went ape crazy. And then the lead singer, comes over and he points to me and he says, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name." And he said to everybody in the audience, "This is Michael Fournier. He got to sing with us on this song. Give him a big round of applause." The whole place stood up and applauded me. and I was just overwhelmed. I don't even know what to say, but to be able to sing with a band, especially one that I grew up with in the '70s, that was that was a big check off on my bucket list. I was like, wow. I said, if I die tomorrow, there was nothing else I had to do. I sang with a band that I grew up with, and they loved my voice, and they wanted me to continue to sing along, and I did till the end of their set, and I was just so happy. The only thing that disappointed me though was I told my mother, and because I know it happened and everything happened, and she said, "No, you didn't." And I said, "Yes, I did." I It took me almost an hour to convince my mother that I actually sang with a group like that. Uh, that was
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
I also I got to tell you real quick too. Uh, I actually listened to Cher. Cher, I was with my family, and Cher was doing a concert at the Mandalay Bay Casino in their showroom and whatever. And I know it was Cher. She was real. She was there, and um, she did that song that she did um, usually to start her show or usually in the middle of it. Do you believe in love? That kind of song. I think it is. Do you
oh
believe
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah. I remember that one.
love? Yeah. So I started to sing along, and I was a little embarrassed because my folks are sitting with me and we're in the section. But somehow, I don't know if this is true or not. And I like to think it is, but somehow I think Cher heard my voice in the crowd somewhere, and she pointed right at me and said, "Keep going." She said, "Keep singing." And I was like, "I really?" And I looked at my mom and I said, "Mom, Cher just asked me to sing along to the song." She said, "Don't, no, no, no." She said, "Let her sing. We're here to watch her sing. Don't sing along with Cher." I said, "But she asked me to, Mom." I stood up and I started to sing, and she heard me, and I was like, that was a great experience too. Even though everybody else in the audience was like, "Oh, now what's this guy doing? What's this young guy doing? He's just standing up and he's pointing to Cher. Cher's pointing back at him, and they're singing to each other." It was crazy,
That's
dude.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was crazy. It was crazy as hell. I wow. I was just like, okay, yeah. I, I've been able. Like I said, I've been blessed to sing with a few bands in my lifetime. To sing with, uh, Bobby Cook's band was known as Bobby Cook's Jamioki Band. So as I told you, what the concept was. The jazz band was uh, my friend's name was Bud, like Bud Light. So yeah, he had a jazz band, and then I actually got to sing a couple of. I got to do two or three gigs with him. Then I sang uh, duets with. Uh, I just recently did last year. There is a song that's out there called "We Are Warriors," and it's done by a group called Swedish, and that's my friend Jennifer Crutchfield that lives with her husband and her daughter over in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're trying to get a house built there, but they were the ones that used to live in Hollywood. And what she did is they recorded my voice, and my wife can know this. She says, "Yeah, your voice stands out," and I've listened to it a number of times already, and it stands out in the background, singing along with them. So that was a collab I did with Jennifer and Chris, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Really cool, man. Well,
Yeah,
Mikey, I look forward to conversing and collaborating with you again in the future, man. Yeah,
absolutely, dude. Yeah, just look for me on the streams. Uh, watch for my future stream, which is going to come up on June 7th. I'm doing my very first panel discussion. So it'll be live, StreamYard, and we're going to be talking about James Bond franchise. We'll just
Excellent.
briefly go into each movie, kind of give our views on it. Ask people who is your favorite Bond, who is your favorite Bond film, who was your least favorite actor to play Bond, and so forth. And then I'm going to ask towards the end of it. I'm going to say, okay, Daniel Craig's already stepped away, and they've had a number of people before him. So now, my big question to you is, who would you personally like to see become the very next James Bond, male or female? There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. You just give your honest view and say, who do you want to do it, to be out there? Now, me personally, uh, I really would like to see Benedict Cumberbatch do it. He's done Sherlock. He's done Doctor Strange. He could still pull off a Bond. He could do it. He's my first choice. But there's a few others besides him.
I'm having trouble remembering the actor's name, but he's usually a bad guy. Shoot, what is his? He's getting a little bit. He's not that old yet. Gosh,
Hold on just a second.
it's right on the tip of my tongue.
There's my avatar. You're okay, honey. You can go. Go ahead.
Good golly. So he plays in. I can't even put a name on a movie right now. I'm just so.
Do you remember?
Let me see. Hold on.
Do you remember what movies he's done? Because I can probably tell you. Uh-oh. Whoa. Hello, room. We're live. This is Mikey. We just lost Trusty Ape there for a moment. He's probably on his way back in. I hope you enjoyed this stream tonight. I know there was only a few of you here. But again, we want to thank Cat Cienfuegos and Sterling and the Snake for coming in, and of course Trusty Ape for allowing me to do the stream with him tonight. That was a lot of fun. There you are, buddy. You all right?
Yeah. No, it was anyway. Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, sure. I can see why you would think he'd probably be a pretty good Bond. Yeah. You know what? I've even heard that a couple of my friends, African American friends, I guess in a way, some people said Idris Elba, and I was like, well, they've never had a black James Bond before, so it's
Yeah,
really it's really up to the two executive producers that the couple that still run it, Barbara Broccoli and Michael J. Wilson. It's really up to them, and I know that from what I watched behind the scenes and so forth. I know that when Daniel Craig stepped away, it's left a very huge hole, a very gaping hole, in who's going to do it next. And a lot of people were saying they want a woman to do it. They want, like I said, some are saying Elba should do it. Some people said Cumberbatch would do it. Some people even want Tom Hiddleston, that played Loki in the Marvel universe. They want him to do it. Tom Hiddleston. So there's a number of people out there that could pull it off, I'm sure. But they don't know yet. It's already been, since 2000, well, as far back as 2015, because they realized that Daniel was going to do one last one, and then that was it. And then because of the COVID, the movie didn't officially come out till I think it was 2022 last year. So yeah, it's a big gaping hole, as they say. But that's why I really would like people's opinion, just to see who would do it, you know, get an idea. What's the consensus, you know, who do they want to put out there and you know revive the franchise, so to speak? Because I know at this point it's going to be very difficult to do.
Yeah, and I like to lean towards inclusivity. Like, these characters don't necessarily have to be the same old, like, stereotypical characters. You could just kind of change, you know, the niche or whatever. But,
Yeah,
like, I think you could also just create new characters, like, and like when you have, like, something like that that's like a franchise that goes back so far, you just like, if you're gonna make a new character, just make a new story, like, some kind of extended universe type of thing. Like, in my mind, like, I don't
yeah.
understand the necessity to change the character and keep the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, sure. Well, the interesting thing was that uh, when they, like I said, when they finally put out No Time to Die, we waited 3 years between us to, go and see it, to see, Craig do it one last time. When they came out, they they initially didn't realize, but then everybody did realize that it was the 60th anniversary of when the first Bond film had premiered, which was Doctor No, way back in 1962. So you had a 60-year anniversary already in place, without anybody really realizing it. And then the movie itself is I think it's very good. I think it actually allowed a closure of some kind. But as people say, they want Bond to be back. They want original ideas. My wife is related to Daniel Craig. That was her maiden name before she married me, and through her father, they're blood cousins. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, she was disappointed when he left. So
wow, yeah, you can imagine, yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's married. Daniel Craig. Did you know he's married to Rachel Weisz, the one that was in those Mummy pictures with Brendan Fraser?
Oh, right, yeah, yeah, I remember her, yeah.
Yeah, they have a couple kids and stuff. I think Rachel was probably the main influence and said, "Hey, look, hubby of mine, step away from Bond. You've done 5 films. You don't need to do any more. You're gonna hurt yourself." Because Daniel Craig's that type of person that likes to do his own stunts, right? He was still young enough to pull things off, and you see him jump from things, and you wonder how badly he hurt himself, And
Yeah, Jackie Chan type.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Except that Chan has the Guinness Book of World Records for the most bones broken in his entire film career. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
And that's how you know you're a badass.
Yeah, yeah. He did a great film. I've seen almost every Jackie Chan film that's been out there, or bought it or whatever. But the one that I really enjoy is called The Forbidden Kingdom, and it's a movie he did with Jet Li, and they did this 15-minute fight that, in my honest opinion, has to be the greatest martial arts fight in film that I've ever seen. And it was all choreographed just between the two of them and Wu and Yo Ping, who did all the choreography for the Matrix movies.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I do remember that one. Well,
Yeah.
all right. I am definitely going to wrap up stream. As
Okay. So go ahead.
1:35.
Yeah.
And
So go ahead and
thank
close
you,
down.
thank you for coming, Mikey. It's been I gotta, as I always say at the end of every time I do this the same thing. Be well, stay trusty, and be kind. And that's something like that. I almost did it. Okay.